So I'm a musician, primarily a drum set player. What does that even mean? To be a drum set player, you know? It's a really cool position to be in, I think, because I have to be on my game all the time. If I were to talk to my younger self about, like continuing to pursue music, I'd obviously have to, say all the bad stuff. Like, you might be broke for a while. You're gonna doubt yourself every day. Not that nobody else does, but there's that kind of disconnect that you have from your future that is really daunting. There's just a big black hole on the horizon. It just kind of extends forever in terms of just not knowing what is happening or what's going to happen. But people will tell you that like it's not a real job and that you're not really contributing to society and that you'll never make any money and that you'll never be successful and that music's just not that important as opposed to other careers. I mean, the extreme for me is always a doctor, like curing people and providing healthcare for the masses and all that kind of stuff. But playing for people, especially in the drum seat, I've noticed it's my job on that stage, in that work environment, to make people feel good, like want to dance. And whether there's 5 people in the room or like 300 people in the room, if what you're doing is physically moving people, like making them smile and making them want to sing and dance, man, that's just like an incomparable emotion. It's nice afterwards to be told, hey, you're really good, or hey, you did a really good job, but that, just doing that and seeing with your eyes and feeling with your body the effect that it has on people is a really beautiful thing. And also what's really cool about just playing music is I think not a lot of people really get to experience that, being that present or being in the now, that strictly. Be there, I don't even really have the space in my mind to think about other things when I'm playing music because I have to perform at a certain level and I want to perform at a certain level, and that requires a lot of focus on the piece of art that is sitting in front of me or that we've rehearsed, especially in improvisational music or just in settings that you really have to be on your toes. All that you focus on is creating, and that's super cool. Not only, but especially live music is only in the present, because it happens and then that version of that thing never happens again, ever in the history of ever. And you got to do that, I think that the emotional payoff far surpasses the kind of shortcomings that might come from pursuing a career in music or just trying to be a musician. 99% of people trying to make it don't, because they just end up giving up, before it's time. And that has been one of, if not the driving force behind kind of my dedication to the craft. I think just the nature of it weeds out people that aren't really dedicated enough. If push comes to shove, and I don't have the money to pay my bills or provide for my family or whatever, then at that point you have to kind of push through even harder. And I mean, just the fact that I don't get as much pleasure from anything else is enough of a motivating force, but also knowing that, or at least also thinking about just pushing through the really tough shit is essential. I've let myself down a lot recently, actually. Maybe because I've been taking more chances. I think something that I've tried to apply to music and the rest of my life is just looking at everything as a learning experience. So even if it's just like a trash, awful, debilitating experience, I can come out at the end of it and be like, well, I know what to do for the next time, I hope that I can apply that to the inevitably far worse circumstances that I'll find myself in this industry. Aside from all that kind of artsy-fartsy kind of, I just think it's super cool. every time I do it or see it, I feel like a little kid, just like getting to play, you know, and that's something that I hope I don't ever have to give up.